Okay, so this video is going to be a sort of story, but at the same time, a sort of survival guide. This is going to be a story about my class who is stranded on an island. So let me tell you the story. Once upon a time, our class, us included, were on a boat called the Titanic because of a sports competition. Sadly, the boat hit an iceberg and sunk. To save ourselves, we all went on a huge emergency boat with a few adults. After 50 minutes on the boat, a huge storm appeared, which created sort of baby tsunamis. We got hit by a huge wave, the boat flipped, and then boom, we arrived on the island. No one recalled what happened after the huge wave, but my best guess is that we all went unconscious and drifted to this beach. All members of the class were safe, but the few adults had disappeared. So now here we are, few minutes after everybody woke up. We are on an island alone with no adults. The first problem that is going to happen is going to be panic. Half, maybe all the person of the class are going to panic. But no panic. It is only going to make things even harder and complicated. We need to try to calm everybody. There's always going to be this one guy who's gonna say, "We're all gonna die!" No, you're not. Being on an island is not being in a city. We don't have electricity, no lighters to make fires, no supermarkets, no Amazon, and the list goes on. So eventually we, our class included, are going to have lots of problems. First of all, group problems. Everybody in the class is going to have a different opinion on what we need to do or how are we going to survive. Then there's panic, people who are sad and have a lack of hope or even going crazy. But the number one thing that we shouldn't do is making sort of groups/tribes between us, because it can put your survival goal in a complicated situation and it can eventually create fights. Speaking of fights, we need to avoid a classmate of being hurt or having an injury at all costs, because we really do not need that. Sadly, none of us were prepared for this kind of situation, so unfortunately maybe all of us have a lack of knowledge when it comes to survival. Second of all, there's the environmental problem. We don't know the island. It's our first time on the island, so we do not even know our environment. Maybe there's dangerous animals, maybe werewolves. So there's also maybe dangerous insects and maybe native people. You never know. Cannibal tribes. You never know on this island. You just need to be careful. And finally, the health problem, thirst and starvation. Already.
So, as we all know, to solve these issues and problems, we'll need lots of valid solutions. To start things up, we'll definitely have to work as a team, and to try be as calm as possible. In my opinion, the calmest amongst the group should take leadership. Leadership is an important function of management, which helps to maximize efficiency and to achieve organizational goals. Establishing a leader, and as well as listening to their commands, could lower the chance of conflict and eventually increase the chance of survival. We will have to make sure that all food, water, shelter is sustained and that there is enough. We'll have to establish a sense of security in both safety and resources, which is also essential. In addition, I think we should distribute different tasks, hunting, farming, whatever you like, to everybody depending on their strengths and weaknesses. Just like in the book and in the movie called The Maze Runner. Of course, once this is achieved, we could gain a sense of family and friendship. This will definitely help our mental state, and we will not go bananas. Now, once all of the above is achieved and assured, we could start looking at a rescue plan. Like mentioned earlier, we'd have to work together as a team to try and go back home. But we should have the mental state that no matter what happens, if our plan does end up failing, we will turn out all right and safe either way. This will keep us optimistic and will prevent us from losing hope. Another great tip is to know everyone's strengths, weaknesses, including myself. We should know also our threats and opportunities.
So now, back to the story. It has been 2 weeks now and our class almost finished all the steps. But there's some tension between the leader and a classmate who wants to take leadership. However, he doesn't meet the criteria. And unfortunately, this classmate left and created a new group. This is exactly what we should have prevented, but unfortunately it happened. A few days later, more and more classmates started to join the other group. Luckily, we have a very intelligent leader who decided to make peace and reunite with everybody. The leader of the group accepted on one condition, that in the reunited group, there's 2 leaders, him and our original leader. Everybody accepted this contract. It's been almost a month now, and people are starting to lose hope and starting to go insane. We are going to stay forever. Those words kept repeating over and over again. Then the two leaders decided to create a fun game with no rules where anybody can do whatever they please to make us have a little bit of fun once in a while. It's been over a month now, and our SOS signal has no effect. Everybody was getting more and more used to the island. Therefore, we decided to create complicated yet essential things like toilets, shelter, etc. We were also looking for water supplies because till this day we were only drinking coconut milk and water from the rain. By doing all of these activities, it was helping us stay sane and it was enforcing us as a team. But honestly, I've lost hope. If we want to last long, we need enforcements to make our society more organized and more civilized. First of all, we need to establish rules decided by the whole group. Then we need to divide the tasks, therefore making us stronger in number. Then we need to create campsites for shelter because sleeping on the ground isn't comfortable. To survive, we need weapons to hunt all the dangerous creatures who want our skin for dinner. Then we need toilets. We can't last long without water, therefore we need access to clear, drinkable water, not ocean water. We also need to try to get off the island by seeking for help with a fire. We need to remember that we need to keep our hopes up. Eventually, we can vote for a leader that meets the criteria of leadership: calm, honesty, and integrity, confidence, inspire other, commitment and passion, good communitary, decision-making capabilities, accountability, delegation, and empowerment.
We are at the 3rd month. Today, we had a very special meeting. We talked about how we could stay here for months, years, and maybe forever, how we should look out for the future. There were many propositions: making a village, making a society, making a farm, creating police and stuff like that. Now it's been a year. There are less and less animals, less and less water in the water supply. We are starting to worry. Everything was working out nicely, but not anymore. Today is year 1, month 2, day 15. And for the first time, we saw a boat. We made the biggest SOS signal ever made. We lit it up and the fire was huge. But a little bit too huge, and it lit up this forest. This was bad, really bad. Everybody ran to the beach screaming and screaming. The fire was coming closer and closer. All the hard work of the year was burning. We screamed until the boat saw us. This is year 1, month 2, day 15. We are finally out of the island. We are now back to our families, having a great life and telling everybody our story.